He got it. That was awesome. That was a freaking awesome fight. That was good. I was marking out, going crazy. Second round, Conor McGregor spent a lot of the time down on his back. He did have Chad Mendes down in his guard. But Chad Mendes looked like he was putting a lot of damage onto Conor McGregor. I was going bananas. I was just hoping that we could make it to the end of the round and he would get out, but Chad Mendes ended up going, trying to lock him into some sort of submission, and at this point, oh, that was awesome. They were able to stand up and they were able to get out of that. 20 seconds left in the fight. They were able to stand it up. Conor was able to straight up sort of box Chad Mendes. They were able to stand it up, and he knocked him out. This was a great fight. This was fun. This lived up to the hype. I want to see Conor McGregor versus Aldo. I want to see Conor McGregor versus Chad Mendes again. Both of these guys had a great fight. Chad Mendes was a great fighter to go up against Conor McGregor. He was the first wrestler that Conor has gone up against. They've gone to the floor. This was for the interim championship. So, that one of these guys, will have to go on and now fight for the the real deal once Aldo's able to go. But this is probably my favorite fight of all time. I know that the Stevenson fight earlier today, and the fight before between Robbie Lawler and Rory McDonald had a really, really good end. But honestly, this was one of the fights that really got me into UFC, to follow along with all the storylines that went along with everything and that was going on between Conor and Aldo, and every day once the injury went down. Oh, this was fun. Basically, as they were coming out, both of these guys had awesome entrances. I don't know who it was doing Conor McGregor's entrance, but basically it was some, Irish, I guess you can say folk song or something like that. Up at the top of the arena with the green lights, Conor came out looking like a crazy madman coming to the octagon. I thought it was weird that he was coming out first because of all the hype around this fight. They treated him like he was the champion. But, with this being an interim match, this was awesome. Basically, Conor McGregor was getting a lot of credit for, selling out Dublin for the Fight Night fight a couple months ago. He was a big part of, the 189 sales. Basically, a lot of people calling this the Conor McGregor show. Both intros are really cool. Aaron Lewis from Stained did Chad Mendes' intro. Conor came into this match. He had 3 inches of height on Mendes, as well as 8 inches of reach. That really affected the boxing style of Mendes going up against Conor. But Mendes really didn't have any boxing skills standing up against Conor anyways. But I loved it when the crowd just booed Mendes during his intro very loudly. The fight started coming right out of the gate. Basically Conor McGregor ran all the way across the octagon to give a spinning back kick to Mendes. Basically that was a lot of his offense in the first round. Was the spinning back kick and a lot of feeling each other out, a lot of kicks to the body. I liked it that both of these guys were smack-talking each other inside of the octagon as they were fighting. One guy would punch each other and the guy would sort of be like, that's all you got, and it would just go back and forth, back and forth. Conor cut the octagon in half. Chad Mendes seemed like he had his back up against the cage the whole fight. Sort of like it was one of the big strategies that he had, was not leaving a whole lot of room for Mendes to work with. Basically, Chad was breathing heavy from kicks to the body from Conor McGregor. Chad did take Conor down. I believe he took 4 or 5 times during out this whole match. But the first time he took him down, he was able to get a cut above Conor's right eye. He took Conor down again and again throughout the fight. When he was down on the ground right before the end of the first, there was a final warning issued to Chad Mendes about fingers in the eye. When they went to the corner for the end of round 1 and they were, fixing Conor McGregor up, I honestly didn't think he looked that bad. I thought he was going to look a lot worse. I thought that the cut up on his eye was just going to be, brutal. They were able to fix it up, and it took a couple of more shots in round number 2 in order to see the blood that was coming out again. But the first round had to go to Mendes. Mendes seemed like he had to have it. Basically when they came out for round number 2, Conor ran out. They fist bumped, and then he gave him a spinning kick again. But Chad Mendes took him down and again. Strong elbows on Conor's head. Conor's only seem to fight was basically holding him into the guard, trying to make sure that he wasn't going to hit that bad. There was a few times when he was able to get some elbows in on the top of Chad Mendes' head, but they spent a lot of time of round number 2 down on the floor, and basically with 20 seconds left in the fight, Conor was able to escape out of the hold down on the floor. When Mendes tried to wrap him up into some sort of a submission, they stood it up, and right away you can tell that Mendes was in trouble. Conor came out of that almost like he was in full strength, like he really didn't have, like he gained stamina down there on the floor because he wasn't really doing anything except trying to throw his elbows and trying to hold Chad Mendes' elbows from punching him. But oh, dude, he was able to just straight up knock him out. I believe it was a left and then a right on the way down. But what a great fight. 189, with all that sellout hype in Las Vegas. There was a little part of me, there was almost a year ago, because of the Wrestling Observer Figure 4 Weekly, get together. I was dreaming about going to this. I thought it was going to work out because it was the weekend after the 4th of July weekend. I wanted to get out there and hang out with everybody. But, man, if I could have been at this fight. Good God, Conor McGregor. He's going to be a big star for UFC. Definitely, you can tell that he does have weak spots when you get this guy down onto the floor. But once he gets in that once he gets in that octagon against Aldo, that's the fight that people really want to see, and that's going to be some big time money because Conor finally lived up the hype and he finally beat somebody that's a really good fighter for UFC, and you can tell that it's not all hype. That he is the truth.